Have you ever seen someone do something that made absolutely no sense until you learned the reason behind it? This is the story of a poor old man whose strange habit made an entire kingdom think he had lost his mind. But when the truth finally came out, it changed the way everyone looked at kindness forever. Many years ago, in a quiet countryside village, there lived an old man named Thomas. He owned very little, but he never complained. Every morning, before sunrise, he loaded fresh vegetables onto his small donkey cart and slowly made his way to the city market. The journey took nearly 2 hours. By the time he arrived, the streets were already crowded with customers and merchants. Thomas spent the entire day standing under the hot sun, selling vegetables one basket at a time. After hours of hard work, he earned only a few silver coins, just enough to buy food and survive another day. But every evening, before returning home, Thomas always stopped at an old abandoned well outside the city. He would quietly count his earnings, divide them into 2 equal parts, and without saying a word, throw half of his money into the well. Then he would smile gently, climb back onto his donkey cart, and head home. The merchants watched this every day. No one understood it. Some thought he had gone crazy. Others believed he was wasting money that poor people desperately needed. Again and again they asked him, "Thomas, why do you throw away half of everything you earn?" The old man only smiled. "I'm sorry," he would say softly. "I can't tell you." Soon, the strange story spread across the kingdom until it reached King Edward. The king couldn't understand why a poor man would throw away money while struggling to feed himself. He ordered Thomas to appear before the royal court. When the old man arrived, the king spoke kindly. "Thomas, people tell me you work hard all day, yet every evening you throw half your earnings into an old well. Why would you do such a thing?" Thomas lowered his head respectfully. "Your Majesty," he replied, "I know it seems foolish, but I gave my word that I would never reveal the reason." The king tried again. "You could use that money to improve your own life or help other families." Thomas simply bowed. "I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I cannot break my promise." The people in the courtroom whispered among themselves. Many believed the old man was selfish. Others thought he was hiding something. But Thomas accepted their judgment without defending himself. The next morning, King Edward ordered 2 soldiers to secretly follow Thomas. "If he won't tell us," the king said, "perhaps we'll discover the truth ourselves." The soldiers stayed hidden as Thomas finished selling vegetables that evening. Just as everyone had described, he walked to the old well, divided his money into 2 piles, and quietly dropped 1/2 into the darkness below. Then he climbed onto his cart and disappeared down the road. The soldiers continued watching. Several minutes passed. Nothing happened. Then they noticed a small boy carefully walking toward the well. The boy lowered a small bucket tied to a rope. When he pulled it back up, it wasn't filled with water. It was filled with coins. Curious, the soldiers quietly followed the boy through the narrow streets until he reached a tiny cottage on the edge of the village. Inside waited his elderly mother. The boy placed the coins on the table and smiled. "Mother," he said happily, "even though Father is gone, God still hasn't forgotten us." His mother looked up with tears in her eyes. "We don't know who keeps helping us," she whispered, "but every day our prayers are answered." The soldiers stood outside in complete silence. Now they finally understood. The next day, they told King Edward everything they had seen. The king immediately invited Thomas back to the palace. This time, his voice was gentle. "We know the money helps a poor family," the king said, But tell me one thing. Why did you begin doing this? Thomas smiled quietly. Many years ago, he said, I was even poorer than I am today. I searched everywhere for work, but couldn't find any. One evening, an elderly stranger met me near that same well. He told me, whenever you earn something, share part of it with someone you'll never meet. Don't expect thanks. Just trust that kindness always finds its way back.
Thomas paused for a moment. I didn't understand his words, but I followed his advice. A few days later, I found steady work for the first time in my life. Since then, I've continued doing the same thing. I don't know why my life changed, but I promised I would never stop, and I would never reveal the secret while it remained mine to keep. King Edward sat quietly for a long moment. Then he smiled. Keep your promise, Thomas, he said. The world needs more people who give without expecting to be seen. Sometimes the greatest acts of kindness happen when nobody is watching. The hands that give quietly often change lives they will never know. The purest kindness asks for no applause. What you give in secret may become someone else's reason to keep believing.